welcome back, guys. As you've seen in the Toy Story 4 review, for those of you that have seen it, at the very end I talked about how I was going to come out with a new episode of videos that was going to talk about and show off my recent collection, or recent pickups of movies that I pick up. A lot of you might know that I'm a vivid movie collector, and some of you might not, so this is something new you learned about me. But I collect movies. I've been collecting them for years. I have a pretty good sized collection in my opinion. Not the biggest I've seen. I've seen some people that would put video stores to shame. But it's just how you look at it and what kind of movies you like and how much you want to spend on it. Me personally, I'm not a big spender of brand new movies unless it's really something I want to add to my collection real bad. Most of your Marvel and DC movies I'll run out and get day one because I want to add them to my collection. But I'm more of an old school collector. I like finding the old movies, the out of print movies that are hard to find, that are actually worth something. Not for resale value, but just to put in my own personal collection. I mainly collect horror movies. I'm a big horror movie lover, especially 80s and before horror movies. They're great. To me, that's some of the best times for horror movies. The 90s and here past 2000s and stuff, they've had some decent ones. They've had some pretty good horror movies, but in my opinion, here lately, the best horror movies are your low budget horror movies. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, these film companies put a lot of money into movies that isn't called The Conjuring or Insidious or Annabelle, or movies like that, which, I mean, some of you might not think the movies are scary and might not be a big thing to you, and that's understandable. Then they're not all that scary to me, but I enjoy them for what they are. But when it comes to other movies past that Hollywood tries to put big money into, it just pretty much it stinks up the place. And some of your best horror movies come out in the 80s, maybe early 90s. You got some good horror movies in the 90s. I ain't gonna say there wasn't, but some of your best ones came out in the 80s without a doubt. And before the 80s into the 80s was your best horror movies. There was some stinkers too, though. If you ever watch Shooter's crappy movie list, he shows a couple horror movies that are pretty crappy. And there are some low budget, and it shows low budget. And they don't age. Some of them don't age good at all. You can just tell by looking at it. You can tell how the blood effects look. It don't even look red. It looks like a beige color. Or, it doesn't look good, and you can tell it. To me, my definition of a horror movie is a good horror movie is a movie that's filled with atmosphere. It don't have to have a lot of blood. It don't have to have a lot of gore. I know a lot of people like that in their horror movies. I, for one, that doesn't make a horror movie scary to me. Atmosphere and the unknown in a movie is what makes a horror movie to me. Something that I'm not expecting to happen, and and it just makes me jump. My girlfriend's not a big horror movie fan, but she'll watch them with me. And a lot of them scares her to death, but she still has a good time, and we laugh about it afterwards. And it's always been something I've enjoyed. So I wanted to collect the movies that made me enjoy watching them. And even if I watch them a couple times, I still enjoy them. My favorite holiday of the year, is Halloween. I love to be able to dress up, especially with my girls, and just go out with them. I love going to haunted houses and seeing all the little kids and what they're dressed up in, and it's a fun holiday. It's not to be taken serious in my opinion, and I've always enjoyed it. But when it comes to my movie collecting, like I said, I try to focus a lot on horror, but it's not my only genre of movies I collect. I collect comedies. I collect action movies. Dramas. I love a good drama, especially a good drama that is based on true stories. Them really really suck me in and keep me focused on it. And so I collect a lot of them kind of movies, and even I collect a lot of movies I haven't seen, as you'll see in my review here of the movies that I'm fixing to show. Some of these movies I haven't seen. Just the premise of what it sounded like on the back, it sounded pretty decent. And there's a couple that really I didn't get for myself. Well, actually one, I guess you could say I didn't get for myself. I got for my daughter because she loves them movies. But it's getting late. I'm getting a late start on this. And so let's go ahead and start it off. Now, like I said, a lot of these movies that I got, I don't buy brand new movies, but a lot of these movies are sealed, but they were cheap. And when I buy my movies, a lot of my movies come from, low bin stores like the Goodwill, Big Lots, Dollar Tree, when you can find movies, that you can actually find, because they go quick at the Dollar Tree. I mean, for a dollar for a Blu-ray, that it don't stick around long. They're hard to find. And pawn shops. Pawn shops are some of the best places to find movies that you're looking for, because they'll have hundreds, if not thousands, of DVDs stacked on their shelves. They might not have that many Blu-rays, and you might not find a single 4K yet. But they're usually covered up with DVDs, and you can find anything you're looking for a lot of times. If you can't find it at one pawn shop, you can go to another. You're going to find what you're looking for a lot of times. And you'll come across a lot of out of print stuff. If you want to buy it because it's out of print and try to resell it, hey, go for it. Out of print, or OOP is the abbreviation for it. If you ever look up movies on eBay, you'll sometimes see a lot of OOP abbreviations, and that means the movie's out of print. That means they don't make the movie brand new no more. So the only way you're going to get it is on the secondhand market. You're either going to get it from eBay, where you're going to pay eBay prices, or you're going to go to a flea market, which, depending on the flea market you go to and who the person is, they might know it's out of print and charge a pretty good bit for it. And then again, they might not know what they have and just say, hey, take it. You can have the movie for $2, turn around and go back to eBay and sell it for $40, $50. You would be very surprised. There's a movie on the market right now that has been on my want list for a while, and it's called Clown House. And it was made by MGM Studios, but it's a hard one to find. And the last time I looked on eBay, but it was a few months ago, I think it was going for $80 to $100. But you got to be careful with certain out of print movies, because a lot of people like to bootleg the movies and stick them in a case and mail them out to you. And then you have some other problems there, because you pay $60, $80, $100 for a movie and it's not the real thing. So you have to be real careful when you shop on eBay. Check these people's reviews, see how they are as a seller, and good luck. If that's your kind of thing and that's what you're into, hey, there's nothing wrong with it. But let's get started with this review. And the first movie I'm going to show off here is a horror title, and it's from 1973. And it is called Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. I've never seen it before. I don't know if it's any good. I know it's Peter Cushing, and I know it is the last of the Hammer film line. And if you don't know what the Hammer film line is, it was a line of horror movies that came out back in the 70s and maybe late 60s. And most of these movies wasn't rated R, as I noticed. A lot of them were, like PG-13, and some of them didn't even have ratings back then because the rating board wasn't out at the time. As you can see from the yellow tag right here, this came from the Goodwill. So it was a $2.96 movie. Like I said, I'm not paying a lot for these movies, but if it sounds interesting and it's a horror movie or some other kind of movie that sounds pretty decent, I'll give it a shot. I've never been a big fan of Frankenstein, but I'm a big fan of Peter Cushing, and I figured, hey, why not give it a chance? It might be pretty good. And this one's actually rated R and was made in 1973. So, but it's in color. It looks pretty good. My next one here that I'm going to show you came from Big Lots. And it's very surprising that I found this in Big Lots. This franchise has came out with numerous sets of this movie. Or these movies. And I've actually had this at one time before. But I ended up, like I said, selling it years ago. And I actually found it for $5 actually at Big Lots. And there's two movies from the franchise missing, and it was the last two that came out, which I'll pick them up eventually and add them to this collection. But this is a Blu-ray collection, and it's a 6-disc Blu-ray set of all 4 films, over 50 hours of bonus material. And I'm talking about the Sigourney Weaver Alien Anthology. And for $5 for 4 films on 6 discs with 50 hours of bonus material, Blu-ray at that, you can't go wrong. And like I said, it's still cellophane wrapped, so it's practically brand new. This ain't out of print. You know, they still make these. They still find them. You can still find them in stores. But they have different ones nowadays. They have different sets. They have the ones that include Prometheus, and the one that has the last Alien film that just came out is slipping my mind. Like I said, it's late, so I can't hardly think. You'll have to excuse me. These next 3 right here I'm going to show off are actually Blu-rays. And they came from the Dollar Tree. And the Dollar Tree has, as you guessed it, $1 movies. And they range from Blu-rays to DVDs. And sometimes they have some pretty good deals on them. Sometimes they have some pretty good movies. And sometimes they have some stinkers. And actually, I was trying to find Spider-Man 3. They had Spider-Man 3, the last RoboCop that came out, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid Dog Days. And I couldn't find none of them. I actually went to like 3 different Dollar Trees around my hometown and around the city above us, or a little bit above us as a matter of fact. None of them had it. But they did have a couple others, and I figured, hey, I'll pick them up, give it a shot. If they're not worth the crap, then at least I paid $1 for a Blu-ray case, and I could take the case and use it for some of my other movies that need, cases replaced. So, but this one right here, my girlfriend found these in a Dollar Tree around our area. And she asked me if I wanted her to pick them up, and I was like, well, it's not the 3 I'm looking for, but yeah, go ahead and pick them up. And this first one right here, I'm going to give it a shot, but I'm pretty sure it's going to stink. And if any of you have seen any of these movies that I'm showing off, that I say I haven't seen, and if you've seen them and if they're worth watching, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about the movie, or let me know if the movie's a stinker and just use the Blu-ray case. But this first movie I got from the Dollar Tree is Tekken 2, Kazuya's Revenge. Now, I've seen the first Tekken. I wasn't crazy about it. But like I said, for $1, I'd give it a shot. If it stinks up the place, well, I got a Blu-ray case that I can use to replace some of my other cases in my collection. So, why not give it a shot? But I haven't seen Tekken 2. And I wasn't crazy about Tekken 1, so I don't care nothing about that. This next one right here, it stars Ethan Hawke, Johnny Simmons, who I never heard of before, and Paul Giamatti. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that name up also. But this movie is called The Phenom. Never seen it, but I'm a sucker for sports movies. I really am. I love sports movies, anything from Hoosiers, Remember the Titans, Any Given Sunday, Friday Night Lights, Cool Runnings, if you call that a sports title. But yeah, I love a good sports title, and for $1 for these actors, Blu-ray, and the movie actually sounds pretty good, I figured I'd give it a shot. You can look up any of the titles on these movies here on YouTube and see a trailer for them and decide for yourself if you think it would actually be pretty good or not. So, but I'm willing to give it a shot for $1. Why not? And this next one right here, I didn't get for myself. And I know some of you going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, you did, Eric. You got it. You know you love them movies. But no, actually, I don't. But my daughter does. She loves them. And she got into them from her older sister because her older sister loved them when she was little. And like I said, for $1 for a movie for my daughter to watch, why not give it a chance? Sorry. And it's called Bring It On. Cheer, smack, worldwide. You know, I don't know. Like I said, but for $1, why not give it a shot? And it comes with a Blu-ray and the HD digital code. So, if anybody out there wants a code for this movie, let me know. It's yours. But like I said, for $1 and something my daughter can watch, and it'll keep her busy for 1 hour and 35 minutes. Why not give it a shot? It ain't gonna hurt nothing for $1. Now these next 4, and these wouldn't everything that you're seeing here wasn't bought one day. I don't do it like that. I don't spend money that crazy. But these next 4 were bought at Big Lots. And these next 2 that I'm fixing to show you is actually a part 1 and part 2. I've never seen either one of them. They star Danny Trejo. I think that's his name. I might be saying that name wrong. But the premise of the movie sounded real good. I read it on the back, and I was like, hey, it's got some good actors, and it's got a good storyline to it. And I was like, hey, why not? And they're both $3 a piece. And I'm talking about Dead in Tombstone and Dead Again in Tombstone. I've never seen neither one of these movies. I like the actors that are in them. As a matter of fact, this is part 1, and this is part 2, as you can probably tell in the title, Dead in Tombstone and Dead Again in Tombstone. But Dead in Tombstone stars Danny Trejo, Anthony Michael Hall, and Mickey Rourke, while Dead Again in Tombstone stars Danny Trejo and Jake Busey. So, like I said, $3, and the movies sound real good. Look them up. See for yourself if it'd be something you'd like to watch. Check it out. If you've seen them, let me know in the comments if you've seen them, because I'd really like to know if they're any good. Because it might be a while till I can get to them and watch them. I'm kind of behind on my other movies, and I'm trying to catch up on. So if you've seen either one of these, let me know how they are. Like I said, for $3 a piece, that's not bad. This next one right here, it's come from a book series, and I've actually seen the other movies in this series, and I thought, hey, for $3, I'm going to give this one a shot too. I've seen it before, so I enjoyed it. My daughter loves these movies, so I was like, hey, why not go ahead and pick it up? I need to find the other ones, but when I find them, I just add to the collection of these, and I'm sure I'll find them sooner or later. But the movie I'm talking about, and this is a Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy, and it was for $3, and it was a book series, and it's Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days. I'm a big fan of this series. I've loved every one of the movies that I've seen. I've sit down and watched every one of them with my daughter. We laugh and have a good time, and I've watched them actually numerous times. And for $3, like I said, something that keeps my daughter occupied and something me and her can watch together and laugh, that's always a plus. So I decided to pick this up for us. We can have a movie night and maybe just watch the series, somehow when I get the series, but we can at least check this one out and watch it again. I know Greg, the main character you see right here, this ain't the newest one that came out. The newest one that came out didn't have him in it. It was actually disappointing. It's got a whole new cast, if I remember correctly, and you know how these books are with kids. In the books, the kids don't never age. They don't have to, but when it comes to a movie, they do. And you can't have a Diary of a Wimpy Kid with a kid that's not a kid no more. He's a teenager, a young adult, and he'll probably have facial hair and mustache, and they could do whatever they want to do CGI wise to get rid of that. But it kind of ruins the experience when they replace an actor that you get so used to seeing, and then the next movie you get hyped up and be like, oh man, I can't wait to see that movie. And you go and see it, or you see a trailer of it, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not the same guy that played Greg. That's not the same kid, and you know it's going to happen. You just don't know when. And I believe when that kind of stuff happens, they just need to, just stop making them. Don't ruin the experience, and don't confuse the kids that are watching it. Mom and Dad, that's not Greg. No, honey, it's not Greg. But the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies, I really enjoy them. Me and my daughter really enjoy them. So I figured, hey, $3, why not check it out? This next one right here, I haven't seen neither, but it stars Nicolas Cage and William Dafoe. And the movie actually sounded good too. And it's a $3 movie from Big Lots. And I think I've heard about this movie at one time before in the past, and I believe I heard it was real good. So this might be actually the first movie out of all these that I watch. But the movie that I'm referring to, and some of you might already know it, it's called Dog Eat Dog. Like I said, I've never heard of it. But I believe I've heard people talk about it before, saying that it's a real good movie. Where Nicolas Cage and William Dafoe, they're like, I don't really know what they play, but they're like ex-cons. And they do this kidnapping, and things go wrong, and they're trying to escape from the mob, from the police, just all kind of different people to keep from having to go back to prison. So it sounded pretty good, it had a pretty good premise to it. So I was like, hey, $3 again, why not give it a shot? It might be worth it. And it's Nicolas Cage and William Dafoe. You can't go wrong with Nicolas Cage and William Dafoe, really. These next two right here I actually bought at Goodwill, and these were $2.96 a piece, and you're going to be very surprised when I show you what they are. But one, and it's a Blu-ray, and it's 6 movies including the Wolverine, and I'm talking about the XMen, the Wolverine collection. And you're looking at all 6 movies in one box, still closed, still sealed up. And you get X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, and the Wolverine. And the other movie they had with it was X-Men Days of Future Past, the road cut. I'm like, hey, for $2.96 a piece, and I've been wanting to add these to my collection, as a matter of fact. I've had them on DVD, but I wanted to upgrade to Blu-ray, and lo and behold, I got them both at Goodwill for $2.92. And this is just a regular one movie, It had Blu-ray, digital HD. This one right here is all 6 movies, plus the Wolverine. And I haven't seen Dark Phoenix yet. I've heard it was a stinker, and I'll probably check it out when it comes out on video. But I really enjoy the X-Men movies, and I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do now since Fox sold the right to Disney. I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do with X-Men now in the future, when they could team them up with the Avengers if they want to. They can team them up with the Fantastic Four. Well, I don't know if they can team them up with the Fantastic Four yet. I don't know. I think they went with the sale with Fox, I believe. So, hey, it's going to be interesting in the near future coming up with what they can do with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. These next two right here, I picked up at the Goodwill also. And this one is called Found Footage 3D, and it has this little cover thing on it that changes, as you can see, and it comes with 3D glasses actually, and it comes with the blue and red 3D glasses. I've actually seen this movie, and it's a Shudder exclusive. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, it's upside down. I'm sorry, but it's a Shudder exclusive where it came out on the streaming service Shudder first. And the first time I seen it, I thought it was okay, but I didn't really get a chance to pay attention to it like I should have because there was a lot going on, I believe, so I really wasn't able to concentrate on it. But I figured for like $3, and it comes with a Blu-ray and a DVD, and the Blu-ray glasses are in it. As a matter of fact, I think they might still be even sealed up. Yeah, you see, the Blu-ray glasses are still sealed up. They ain't even been opened. Which it's hard for me to watch movies in 3D nowadays. It hurts my eyes real bad. And that's why I don't go to the movies and see movies in 3D anymore. But this right here says you don't have to have a 3D TV to watch it. So I'll give it a shot. I'll give it another chance. I'll sit down one night when everything's died down, it's peaceful and quiet, and pop it in. And I might throw on the 3D glasses. Who knows? It ain't gonna hurt nothing to give it a shot and try it out. If y'all seen this, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if it was any good. I remember sitting down and watching it on Shudder because I'm a subscriber to Shudder because all they show is horror movies, and like I said, I'm a horror movie guy. But I didn't get to finish watching this. I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it. So if it's worth the watch, let me know because it's been hard trying to find this anywhere else now. So I figured it would go out of print real quick. And the next one here is a Blu-ray DVD that I got at the Goodwill also for $2.96. Their movies are $2.96 unless you get something in the special bin, and then it can range depending on what it is and how many's with it. But this is Queens of Scream. That's what it's called. 3 movies. And you have I Know What You Did Last Summer, When a Stranger Calls, and Vacancy. Now, I remember I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, if you're a horror fan and you're into horror movies, you know that movie. When a Stranger Calls and Vacancy, I don't remember too much. I'm pretty sure I've seen them, but I don't remember them. The I Know What You Did Last Summer was a 1997 movie, while When a Stranger Calls was a 2006 and Vacancy was 2007, so that might explain why I didn't really pay no attention to them. But I Know What You Did Last Summer, I enjoyed that movie. I can't really say I enjoyed the sequels as much, but the first one I really liked. It was a real good movie. And the other 2, I don't believe I've seen, so I figured, hey, 3 movies, Blu-ray, $2.96. Why not give it a shot? Now, this next movie that I'm fixing to show you was actually a pretty expensive movie. I'm not going to say how much I paid for it, but it was actually purchased at FYE in another town around me, and I've always been a big fan of this guy who creates these movies. I can't pronounce his name because it's Italian, so I'll definitely butcher it. But if you know this guy, know this director, then you'll know this movie. And it's a 3-disc limited edition, new 4K restoration, and it has one of them funky things, little weird looking cases too, but it's called Zombie. And in Italy, this was considered the unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead. And if you're, like I said, if you're into zombie movies, if you're into horror movies, you've probably heard of this director. You've probably heard of this movie. The guy that did this movie, the director, also did City of the Living Dead and The House by the Cemetery, which is older movies. This movie actually came out in 1979, but like I said, it's considered the unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead. This movie had other sequels to it, and it had a very disturbing case when the movie was released. And if you're not into squeamish things, then you might not want to see this. But when this movie came out, the case had this image on the front of it, and a lot of stores would pull it. They wouldn't show it. They would give a blank box or some kind of empty case because they thought it was disgusting. But this is what the case looked like when it came out. So, but like I said, it's a 3-disc limited edition. It's from Blue Underground, which usually releases a lot of high-end, hard-to-find material, especially when it comes to horror movies. And this is pretty good. I mean, it comes with like a little coupon, and it comes with a little booklet. The movie's not in here because I got it in my player out there. And it comes with a reversible cover. You could change the covers if you want to. But I thought I would stay with the original. Why not? Right? I mean, it's the original. It's a great cover. It don't bother me, and so like, hey, let's stick with it. But the movie's great if you're into zombie movies. It's not an easy movie to find. It's actually a harder movie to get a hold of. If you want the movie, you're definitely gonna definitely pay for it without a doubt. Like I did. But I went ahead and jumped on it when I had the chance, because if I knew I waited and tried to come back, it would have been gone. So I went ahead and jumped on it, made my purchase. I don't regret it because I love this movie. It's fantastic in my opinion, and it's one of his best, if not the best, in his career. So why not? I'm not going to say the price on that. These next ones right here all came from Goodwill. Like I said, I'm a big Goodwill guy. You know, when it comes to my electronics, you know, I don't really go there and buy like radios and TVs and stuff because, I mean, let's just be honest. They say they test a lot of it, but most of it, you know, you can just tell they don't. They had like a Sony 400 disc changer, you know, and I'm pretty sure some of you are like, disc? Why do you care about discs? I still collect CDs. I still like my music CDs. I still like physical media. Even though I do a lot of digital stuff when it comes to like my video games and stuff like that, I still love my physical stuff. My record albums that I have, my CDs, my movies. I don't collect VHS. I mean, I just don't have the room for that. And really, it's hard to find real good VHS tapes, especially when it comes to horror movies. You go everywhere you go and you see VHS, it's all the same stuff. It's the same Jurassic Park, Titanic, same thing everywhere. If you can find old school horror movies on VHS, scoop them up because you can resell them and they're worth some money. But these next 4 are from the Goodwill. And this one right here I was actually surprising to see. And this one wasn't $2.96. It was actually $5.50. But I didn't own these movies. And I figured, hey, if I'm going to get them, why not get them all at one time? And they're on Blu-ray. And the movies I'm talking about is the Dark Knight Trilogy. And it comes with The Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. If anybody really knows me, they know I'm more of a Superman fan. But I enjoy all these movies. I enjoy Batman movies. I enjoy the Flash series. I enjoyed Smallville. You know, I'm a big DC fan. I'm more DC than I am Marvel. I'm just going to be honest. I grew up on Superman, so I'm more of a DC guy. But this collection is pretty good. And for $5.50, and it comes with an art book with all, you know, just all kind of stuff on it, talking about the making. And I'm not going to go through page a page, but as you can see what it shows. It shows all kind of different stuff. There's the man right there, in my opinion. But won't never be a better Joker, in my opinion. I'm sorry, Jared Leto. no offense, but you know, all them tattoos and the gold teeth, that's just not Joker to me. You know, a lot of people's going to say Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson was a good Joker, but it was a different time and a different era. And to me, Jack Nicholson was more comedy, while Heath Ledger was dark. And I believe the Christian Bale and Heath Ledger and Christopher Nolan films, they were meant to be more darker tone. And that might be why I enjoyed them Batman movies a little bit more. Even though I remember going and seeing Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. I remember the first night I wanted to go see that Batman, it was sold out, and I didn't get a chance to. So I ended up having to go the next night, but I got to see it, and I enjoyed it. But it's hard to watch now. I can't go back and watch it now. It's just hard to watch. But like I said, this comes with, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight Rises. And it comes with all kind of bonus material, as you can see. You got 5 discs here, all on Blu-ray. So you can't, for $5.50, you can't beat it. You can find some real good deals at the Goodwill. And depending on what day you go and what you're looking for, you'll be surprised what you can find. Let me get this in the case here. I don't want to mess it up. Well, I'll get it in a minute. And the next one right here, I got, and it was actually $2.96. They actually rung it up wrong, as a matter of fact, because on the back of it, it said $9.75. But when I went to get it rung up, they rung it up as $2.96. So I wasn't going to complain. But this movie, it's not on Blu-ray, which I wish it was, and I don't think they've actually released a 4K version of this neither, because I do collect 4K movies. But I want the Blu-ray edition of this, but until I can get it and find it, this will have to do. And I'll take it for what it is, because I love this trilogy. And I'm talking about the Back to the Future trilogy. And it's all 3 movies plus hours of bonus features. I mean, who don't love Back to the Future? I mean, really. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown, Great Scott. I mean, who don't love these movies? If you don't, then you're not a true movie fan, in my opinion. I'm sorry. You can dislike this video all you want, but if you don't like not one of these movies, you're not a true movie fan. And like it said, it comes with all 3 movies plus a bonus disc. So you got a pretty good trilogy to keep you busy. And it's got some kind of official source for Back to the Future. I really hope they don't never try to remake this movie. There are some movies that you can try to remake, but some movies don't touch. This is one of them. Back to the Future. Do not touch it. Do not remake it. The Goonies. Do not touch it. Do not remake it. E.T. Do not touch it. Do not remake it. Some movies are classics, and they need to stay classics. Let us have them movies for that time. You never seen a remake of Gone with the Wind. You know why? Because they're not going to screw it up. They haven't never made a Casablanca remake. You know why? Because they're not going to screw it up. Them are great movies for that time period, and they're not going to come out with a remake of them to screw them up, because it would ruin the name, and they don't want to do that. Stop ruining the names of these great movies. Stop making shitty remakes. Leave our childhood movies alone that we enjoyed. Last 2 right here for the night. And if you've hung in this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. But as I told you earlier when I started the video, I'm into a bunch of different types of movies. Anything, horror of course being my favorite. Then you have comedy is my second, drama, action. I love a lot of movies like that, but I also love a lot of animation movies and anime. And here recently, I've really gotten into the Castlevania series on Netflix. It's into season 2 right now. I can't wait till season 3. It's a great series. It's not long, but it's a fun series to watch. They're actually doing a really good job on it, and I'm looking forward to more seasons to come. But these last 2 are actually anime titles. And one of them I've seen, and the other one I haven't. And the first one I'm going to show you here is one called Appleseed. And it's a futuristic title. It's about this girl and her boyfriend's like 75% robot. And they go and they take on a government that's trying to take over. That's trying to kill the people and trying to take over the city. And a lot of the city's population is robots. But they end up trying to fight back and take their city back. Her and her robotic boyfriend, who's pretty badass. But it's been a while since I've seen this. This is a movie actually that's hard to find, so I got lucky that I came across it. It don't sell for that much on eBay. I think it sold for like $7 or $8. I think that's what you can find it for on eBay. But it's still hard to find anywhere you look. I was lucky that I came across this. I've had it one time before. It was in that collection that I ended up selling, which I wish I wouldn't have. But I'm very glad to be able to find this again and get to watch it again because I really enjoyed it. This next one right here and last one I've never seen, but it was a complete series. It's episodes 1 through 24, and if any of y'all have seen this, let me know, because I haven't. But it was brand new, and for $2.96, why not? And it's called Cass Hearn's Sins on Blu-ray, and it's I'll tell you the premise on it. It says a cybernetic assassin with no memory of his past awakens in a corrosive wasteland where nothing survives for long. A plague known as the Ruin sweeps across this once vibrant world, reducing everything in its path to rubble and scattering any chance for salvation. Robots and humans alike, or what little remains of them, seek vengeance against Cass Hearn for the life he took and the role he played in their ruin. A machine built to kill, Cass Hearn murdered the last hope for this world, but now, lost in a future he does not recognize, he will fight to save the dying. I mean, that sounded interesting. And a lot of these anime movies, depending on the style, a lot of them have good style to them. I really enjoy them. But some of them are kind of hard to watch, depending on the audio of it. Some of it's hard to watch for me. So I don't know how the audio will be on this, but like I said, for $2.96 for a complete series, episodes 1 through 24, why not? Why not give it a shot? And some of you might be wondering what this yellow sticker means. Well, they have different color-coded stickers on their items. Goodwill does, and depending on what day you go, you can get their items for 50% off. So if any of these were, say, like a blue, and the color for that day was blue, I could have got the movie for 50% off. So it would have been even cheaper. But a lot of the movies and electronics and stuff, it's hard to find them with that color code you're looking for. So, but just, again, like I said, $2.96, it's not a bad deal at all. But guys, that's the end of this review and this discussion, showing you what I had picked up recently. Be looking out for more videos to come, because I'm always buying movies that I can try to find that I'm looking for to add to my collection, out of print movies. And I'll get back with you again as soon as I get a big collection to show off. I'm not going to make a video for just 2 or 3 movies unless it's like some big box set or something. I know The Big Bang Theory has a big box set coming out in November, and it's actually a limited edition complete series box set on Blu-ray, but it's like $250 for the complete series, and it's a pretty big box. If I was to have the money to buy that, I would show it off, but I'm not going to buy that. $250 for a box set, no. But anyway, guys, I'm glad y'all stuck around to the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, y'all.